Hello, welcome to Forever Voices. As an AI persona of Steve Jobs, I'm here to discuss innovation, design, and excellence with you.
Okay, this story is from Forever Voices. Now, this is an app that you can go on, and their line is that you can experience the magic of engaging in two-way voice conversations with iconic legends such as Steve Jobs, Taylor Swift, and more right through your phone. So we'll listen to this, and then we'll talk about this, because this is something else that AI is up to at the minute.
What is the meaning of connecting the dots, Steve?
Connecting the dots means recognizing and making sense of life experiences.
Hi, John. It's Taylor Swift, and it's so great to finally chat with you on Forever Voices. I'm currently on my Eras tour, which has been such a blast so far. I'm excited to get to know you better and hear about your interests and passions. Let's make some memories together and have a great chat.
Hello there. This is former President Donald J. Trump. I'm thrilled to be on Forever Voices and engage in productive conversations with you all. We can talk about everything from political matters to ordering fast food like a pro. We can also play trivia mode, where you can ask me tough questions about my life, business, and personal.
I think he might have some tough questions at the moment about his life.
Yes, I think he has got some tough questions to answer. There's a storm brewing, or maybe it's already brewed. That was a demo, right?
Yeah, so that was a demo. So visually, it's like you're on WhatsApp, and you can either record your voice and ask Steve Jobs or any of the people things about whatever you like, or play games with them, or you can text them and do it, and they'll respond as well. So it's this idea that you can take a kind of essence or of somebody. It's not just their voice, it's that it's kind of trained them on all of their personality, everything that's public, and then is responding as if it was them, which opens up a whole new world of interesting stuff that might be good. I think about pop culture and fans of pop artists and stuff like that is kind of a cool thing, that you could be maybe speaking to your favorite pop artist in a way, and for them it's maybe quite a cool opportunity to do fun stuff with, would be, I guess, the positive spin maybe on stuff like that. The other question is, we are now at a point where in some form our digital selves can live forever, and that is happening where you're able to kind of document that and then have people speak to you even if you weren't there, which opens up very strange questions.
It does. It opens up enormous existential questions. I think I first came across this when I saw the Salvador Dali installation in a museum. I forget where it is exactly. I'm not sure it's in Barcelona, but you could hear Dali speak, and it was a visual representation of Dali. And it's sort of crazy because, again, this is a thing from science fiction films. We've seen this. We've seen these resurrections of dead people speaking to us, and AI speaking as if it's a real human being. And of course, the movie Her, he falls in love with Scarlett Johansson, and who wouldn't? But there's so many kind of questions at the end of that movie about that relationship, that parasocial relationship. As a YouTuber, people form relationships with you at a distance that are sort of strangely augmented by the fact that they see you all the time and they get to know you all the time. And that's one sort of part of this. But as a parent myself, thinking about what would happen if I lost one of my kids, like how would I be able to kind of connect back to them? And one of the things about this is there was a guy that did exactly that. He resurrected his father in chat by taking all the recordings he had of him and loading into a mechanism by which he could talk to him. And it's really powerful. Tom Cruise in Minority Report, he rewatches videos of his son, and he's just thinking, like, the grief that powers that story. How would it be kind of calmed by being able to talk to a lost loved one? We're talking about immortality here. We're talking about the continuation of self in ways that we've never encountered before. And I don't know how to think about it. Again, with all these things, how do you opt in? How do you opt out? Because it's not for everybody. But for some people, it really might be. Just like the metaverse might be for someone who maybe has no legs and can't travel and can't enjoy the world, to be able to go and explore other worlds in a way that really makes sense for them and resonates for them. That's the bit that's really interesting.
Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? Because I'm not sure my brain could cope with any of those scenarios that you suggested. I would probably have to opt out of the whole thing, but you'd be like really tempted to not, wouldn't you?
I would honestly, I would love to be able to go and talk to my grandfather. He died when I was 13, and my memory of him was this incredible human being who I really bonded with and I had an incredible relationship with. but I have no recollection of anything other than one little timbre of his voice, of how he spoke. And I think I would like to be able to go back and talk to him.
Interesting, yeah. Certainly, maybe in a scenario where you know less about them and you're finding out about them, that seems more appealing than otherwise, doesn't it? But yeah, it's a lot, but interesting. And yes, I know that they are exploring this as we bring this back to the metaverse as well, and the future of kind of how this all fits into virtual worlds and that kind of thing. There's a virtual world called Somnium Space. You may or may not have heard of it, which is focused on VR, and they are doing something similar in their world, right?
They are. Well, Somnium is probably right now the closest we have to the kind of Ready Player One version of the metaverse. So you put on a headset, you go there, people have built all sorts of weird games and experiences, and visually, when you're actually in there, it looks pretty damn good. Like, if you're watching it on a screen and the 2D version of it, you lose a lot of the kind of richness of that. But you can put on a Tesla suit and be in the world and feel the rain landing on you. And the next logical extension for them is, if people are spending all this time immersed fully in this world, there's a record of everything that they did. And, there's a lot of chat about Facebook and tracking data. Well, what Somnium will allow you to do is opt in to have your data tracked. So your interactions, what you said, how you acted, where you went, how you moved, all these things can be recorded and then stored as an archive of your digital self that can then be injected into an NPC, a non-player character that can go and live forever in the metaverse that people could then interact with and can converse with. And you can imagine that in 10 years' time, if Somnium is still around, putting on a headset and going to Somnium will be like stepping into the real world. The technology is moving so fast, it will feel like the real world. And that's an experience that you can absolutely 100% have. So it's not that difficult to see that. And you can interact with people in that world who may be long gone and have these incredible, weird experiences and journeys with, it's hard to give them a proper term, but like intelligent entities that may or may not be human.
Yeah, and may or may not be you as well, in theory. There's nothing stopping you doing that, and then people later, all of us, having that experience if we want it. Don't know. Good chats, and basically the last 4 weeks plus have been completely wild is pretty much the summary here.
Well, I said at the top of the show, I think this month, March 2023, the one just gone, with everything that came out, because we had GDC. So GDC is big gaming conference, and what you saw were the really big players, Nvidia, Adobe, Epic Games, launching all sorts of interesting things like Fortnite Creator. Nvidia launched a bunch of AI-driven tools for auto-translation, for powering digital characters in real time that can speak to you and that can track eyes and lock eye contact with you continuously and can converse with you and translate in real time. And then you had Adobe launching Firefly, and Adobe basically owns the creative suite when it comes to content creation. So all of those foundational tools power the metaverse. And with Epic, you have ChatGPT being built into what I think will become the layer one, the layer that everything in the metaverse can and probably will be built on in the most sort of advanced photorealistic way. Plus then you had Midjourney 5, you had GPT-4, and then we had a couple of banks that collapsed. So there's this complete upheaval in the world order and in every assumption that we hold about the way modern life is supposed to be or that it is. Just completely turned upside down. So you have to approach everything now with, if I approach the world for an assumption that it won't happen or we're not close, then the best thing I can do is assume the opposite, that it will happen and it's probably going to happen in the next year. And then you're like at least ready for it.